What's up, bro?
Hey, how you doing, man?
How you holding up in there, man?
I'm doing all right. I've been, I keep busy, keep my head on straight, focus
Okay.
on the positive.
Okay. Introduce yourself to the people for me, man.
My name is Clifford Powers. I go by Cliff.
How old are you, Cliff?
I'm 37.
37.
Yes.
What's your ID number?
M05859.
Okay. And where you from, Cliff?
I grew up in Lake County,
Oh,
all
Lake
over
County.
Underline, Libertyville, Waukegan, in that area.
Okay. Welcome to the show. Chop it up with Nice, bro. You hear me?
All right, thanks for having me.
How long you been incarcerated again?
A little over 18 years.
A little over
That
18
was,
years.
yeah, I was 18 when I got locked up.
This is your first case?
Yes, yeah, it is.
Okay. The day you got arrested, what did they accuse you of?
First degree murder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did how was you feeling like the day you got arrested? Like, how was you feeling?
Scared, you know. I actually turned myself in because my family knew there was a warrant put out for my arrest, so I had my lawyer turn me in. And I was scared, nervous, uncertain. You know, I didn't know what was about to happen, but I felt I had a lot of people behind me supporting me that were going to
Right.
fight for me, so I wanted
Okay.
to, face what was coming.
And you say you went in as a teenager?
Yes, yeah.
Right. Uh, like, do you regret your actions?
What's that?
I said, do you regret your actions or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. That caused a lot of harm and unnecessary harm. That I've been. Well, I try to get my life together and working on myself and doing what I can for other people while I've been in here. It
So,
doesn't make up for it, but I'm
right,
not doing the same things, not causing that harm that I used to.
right. So you have learned from your mistakes?
Absolutely.
Okay. And how did like the police handle you like during your arrest?
Um, I got treated decent. I know it was due to my circumstances. Because, like I said, I turned myself in with a lawyer, with my family behind me. Um, so I had that protection. So, they put me in the interrogation room. They tried to trick me one time to get me to waive my rights, but other than that, they left me alone. Um,
Right.
yeah, and I know I was very fortunate
So you
in
say
that
they
aspect.
so you say they read you your rights?
Yeah, they tried. They put the Miranda waiver in front of me, told me it was for something else, tried to get me to sign it, but I had already been advised by my attorney not to.
Okay, so you already had a lawyer on that.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And you say you left like when you was 18, 19 years old. How was your neighborhood like before you left?
Uh, I lived in a decent neighborhood, but I was going other places and doing things.
Okay.
Even the towns I grew up in, they weren't real bad, but I was making a lot of bad decisions, getting involved with people that I shouldn't have. So I mean, my neighborhood wasn't, it wasn't bad. It was a kind of typical lower middle class neighborhood. Um, there wasn't
Okay.
a lot of gang activity. There wasn't shootings. There was drugs. Drugs were plentiful, and that's what derailed me and a lot of other people.
Is this something like you could tell like the younger kids out here? Far as like as I started this podcast, basically far as like Cause there's a lot of kids out here thinking like going to jail is cool, like, but if it's something like you can say to them, like to the youth, you hear me, to uplift the youth,
Yeah, sure.
what
So,
would
I
that be?
mean, every young person out there should know you don't get any respect by going to prison. Is not cool. I mean, you're just giving up all the freedoms that you enjoy, and you can give them up for a very long time. I've spent my entire adult life in here. Never got to experience most things,
Uh huh.
and but and it's rough out there. I know, but there's always somebody in your life that, or somebody close by, if you're looking for it, that could help you get out of whatever you're doing, turn your life around or put you on the right track. And I wasn't willing to put out that effort to take advantage of those opportunities or even look for them when I was a kid, when I was a teenager.
Right.
But if
So you,
if you can open your eyes, just look in a different direction just for a minute, you might see something that could change your life. And
uh huh.
you need to take advantage of that.
So you say like you wish you would have listened.
Yeah, because I was given opportunities. There were people that offered to let me do things, or to help me do things like join sports at school, or get a job here, or move to somewhere else where I could be in a more positive environment. And I turned all those opportunities down because I wanted to keep doing what I was doing.
How far did you go in school?
Dropped out of school in my fourth year of high school, but I didn't have the actual grade point average to be a senior. I really stopped participating in school around sixth grade. Like I was just
Mm-hmm.
attending. I would go enough that they didn't kick me out, but I was failing all my classes. Um, so even though I was there, I wasn't getting an education.
How has your incarceration like affected your family?
It affected my family.
Yeah, how has it affected your family like back home?
It's affected them in a lot of negative ways. When I first left, it really impacted my family. The kind of the bonds that we had were broken. People stopped talking to each other. Started going different places and not looking for those times where they could spend time together or keep the family whole. It really became fractured, and you know, some people handled it well, some people handled it less well. Like I've got a sister that I haven't seen in 15 years and barely talked to her because she just couldn't handle the reality of me being locked up like this. We were real
Right.
close all my life, and even in the county jail. But when I got my time and went to prison, we lost that connection. Don't know nieces and nephews. I've lost relationships with them. A lot of people, and they got to deal with me being in here, would deal with the stigma of it. My younger sister, she lost friends when I caught this case because of what I did. They blamed her. That she had to walk around teachers and other people looking at her crazy because of what I did.
Right.
They've all been impacted in a variety of ways, and none of them positive.
Okay. If there's something like you could share with them right now since you're on the interview, what would that be?
I want to just tell all of them that I love them and I appreciate the support through all these years. Um, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing, keeping my head up like I have been without that love and support. And I want them to know that. And I'm gonna be coming home one day, hopefully one day soon. And we still got a lot of life to live together.
Right. How do you feel about the criminal justice system?
It's broken. Well, actually, some aspects are broken. Most, I'll say, but those aspects that we think are broken, are really working the way they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And that needs to be changed. The goal is to lock people up. That's the known goal of the system when it shouldn't be. It needs to
Right.
be to stop harm and reduce harm and help people get back on the right track or get on the right track to begin with. Um, and we need so many reforms, uh, and something more protection of people's rights. And we need to change the whole framework of the purpose of it.
Right. If there's something you could tell your younger self, what would that be?
Stay away from drugs and take advantage of opportunities when they come your way. Those people that are looking out for you, want the best for you, let them help.
Right. How was the police like in your neighborhood as a kid?
For the most part, they were all right. They they
Mhm.
didn't they didn't come through the neighborhood too often, unless it was to mess with me or somebody else in my family. Uh, I got a lot worse treatment by the local police than most, if not all, of my friends. Um, and some of that. I mean, I used to get followed, um, you know, assaulted, harassed. Um, me and my family were a big target, so we caught a lot of the brunt of things like that. Um, but overall, they weren't. It wasn't a lot of corruption, a lot of abuse, not on a wide scale. It was targeted, like I said, to me and my family, maybe a few other families that were poorer, drug involved, things like that. It wasn't like your average person could walk down the street with no worry, but someone like me couldn't. It was
Okay.
the best way to show the contrast.
Uh huh. Did you have any witnesses on your case?
Yes, few people were no eyewitnesses, but people who spoke about um, things that they thought was going to happen, or like a lot of hearsay. But I can't really get into that. My
Okay.
case is still pending. I'm actually
Right.
going up for resentencing real soon. Uh,
Okay.
so, yeah, I've still got a
So
petition in court.
so how has the violence in your neighborhood affected you as a kid?
Didn't I don't
1 minute
didn't really
remaining.
It didn't really affect me. It was the violence within my family and like the older people, the circles I was with. It wasn't so much violence in the neighborhood. It was closer than that affected me in a negative way, desensitized me to it, and made me a violent person in turn.
All right. Last question,
Uh,
bro. If it's something you could fix about the prison jail cells around the world, what would that be?
to make them more humane, uh, treat people like human beings, give them opportunities to better themselves, not just lock them in a box and to waste away. That's the key. They do that, and other changes will follow.
Man, bro. Nice talking to you, bro. Appreciate you for sharing everything you shared with me, bro. You hear me? Hopefully
Yeah,
catch
no
you
problem.
outside, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for doing
Welcome
this,
to the
man.
show.
Thank you
Chop
for
it up with
having me.
nice, bro.
All right.
Okay. I'll catch you next time. Have a good day.